When you're alone and life is making you lonely, you can always go downtown.
Sandie is inspired by a lot of actresses of the 60s who, when they come into a movie, they just own the screen. It's like, this person's a star.
Listen to the music.
And really just the idea of somebody coming to London as an aspiring, like, singer, actress, performer, looking to make a splash.
So when Edgar and I were working on the script, we always wanted Sandie to be iconic. You're looking for something that's slightly uncapturable on the page and uncapturable on film, and then you have to cast someone who can embody that.
The irony about casting Anya Taylor-Joy as Sandie is that she was the first actor that I ever told about the movie, long before the first draft existed. When I met her in 2015, I'd just seen her in her debut movie, The Witch.
I think I was just really excited and nervous to meet him in general, and, you know, weirded out by being in LA and thinking that I was an actress for the first time.
I hadn't planned to tell her the whole story of Last Night in Soho, but I did.
That it was going to be a neon-fueled nightmare, and that he was interested in it being dark, but that the dark could be juxtaposed with these incredibly bright flashes of color.
And so she's sitting there opposite me having coffee going, oh wow, she goes, that sounds amazing. I want to be part of that. And the irony is that I was initially thinking about her playing the part of Eloise. The next couple of years went by, I made another film. Then when I was starting to write Last Night in Soho with Krysty Wilson-Cairns, the character of Sandie was getting bigger. And as that character is starting to expand, it became clear to me that Anya should be playing that part.
And I'm really glad that it worked out that way. I've had a lot of fun with that character.
Anya has this really timeless quality to her that you think that she could be a movie star now, she could be a movie star in the 60s, she could have been a movie star in the 20s, she could have been a silent movie star.
Sandie appears to be so sophisticated and ballsy and really sure of herself and very confident. I think you really experience all of that in the first sequence that you meet her.
I love the fact that Anya's first appearance in the film, and I think one of the first shots that she did actually in the movie, was coming into the Café de Paris in front of hundreds of extras.
I just had to walk out and just kind of stand there as if I owned the room. She really just does throw herself into every situation, has very little shame. I kind of wish I had a bit more of her in me. It's interesting how through movement you can pack in so much about a character without having to say a word.
She's made Sandie sexy and vulnerable and interesting and all the things that I think she was probably meant to be. To pull off those big dance numbers has taken real ability.
The lovely Matt Smith is playing Jack, and it's a very good thing that he's so lovely because we have to do some quite uncomfortable scenes together.
Action! Where are you going, Sandie? Where are you going?
He's done such a wonderful job because even from rehearsals, we kind of decided to build our characters together. I'd not really done that before. And he's really giving, and he goes all out in the scenes, which is the way that I like to do stuff.
Oh! You right? Yeah?
Cut.
Sure?
Yeah.
I've known Matt for a number of years, been a fan of him as an actor, but I've never really had a part for him. And then when he first came up for Jack, I thought, oh, actually, that's perfect. And there's something about Matt where he's incredibly charming, and I guess I wanted to see the sort of the darkness that was beneath.
I'm sorry I'm a little late.
A little doesn't quite cover it.
A lad about town, I suppose. You know, he's always on the make and always on the move, and he's trying to make some money. He's kind of ducking and diving in Soho, and he's being literally a bit of a jack the lad.
Action.
He's a man of 1,000 faces, really. You could probably take him home to your mum and dad and he'd be all right, you know, and I think he can turn it on when he needs to, but deep down there's obviously a very powerful insecurity in him about who he is and where he's going. I'm trying to play him as I see him, which is cool and violent.
They're both very hungry. They're both willing to do slightly, you know, things to kind of get ahead, and their ambition matches each other. And I think they each see that in the other they could potentially go all of the way.
And I think he genuinely thinks he can turn her into a star, but quickly realises that her talent probably outweighs his own and she will eventually outgrow him. For like a manager.
I think Matt looks incredible in like a period setting. I totally and utterly buy him that if he was in the 1965 version of this film, you could just slot him straight in there.
Unfortunately, what happens to Sandie is that the world doesn't always give you what you dream of and what you want. You know, you can be the most talented singer, the best actress, the most fantastic dancer, but if you don't get that lucky break or you don't meet the right people, you don't get it.
What's your name?
Lexi.
There's the thing of being in the right place at the right time, and there's also the thing about being in the right place at the wrong time.
There's a scene that I get to do with Ellie, which is right after, you know, Sandie's fallen quite a bit and she's backstage at the Rialto. And that was just, it felt right to do it because I know that that's a story that a lot of people in the world can probably relate to. It's the idea of having a dream and then realizing it's just not exactly what you thought it was going to be. That story's important to tell simply because it's not a unique story. It's one that's been played out a lot and just is a part of 60s London, really.
In the original outline for the story that I had done, we didn't have the audition scene in there. It was actually Krysty's suggestion that she said, I think we need one more scene in the 60s and I think we need to see her perform to see how talented she is. So then we had this idea of like she goes to the Rialto Club after hours and sings a song for the talent booker, the owner of the club.
When you're alone and life is making you lonely, you can always go downtown.
You know, as we're talking about this scene, I was looking at my list of songs that I wanted to have in the movie.
Seems to help, I know.
And I said, she should sing Downtown.
Downtown.
I think I knew that Anya Taylor-Joy could sing. I was aware of that. I didn't necessarily know until we did it how great her voice was.
Sidewalks where the neon signs are pretty. How can you lose?
We did two versions of it. We did the one that was very similar to the Petula Clark version, and then we did a slower version.
Forget all your troubles, forget all your cares, so go down.
We recorded both of these, and I think it was literally the day before I was mulling over which one to use, and it was like, it's gotta be the a cappella slow one. It's so spine-tingling.
Everyone's waiting for you.
It's a really beautiful moment in the movie for me because just seeing like Anya sing on that empty stage is bewitching.